it's Lindsay here with Pilates on Demand. Today I've got a Prone Pilates class for you. So prone means face down. So this is going to work on our back body, specifically back strength, shoulder strength, and mobility. We're gonna be using a block, and I've got a yoga strap today. So if you don't have these things, no problem. You can use a pillow, you can use a rolled up towel. This is just to support your head. That's what we're using the block for. So you can be kind of creative if you don't have that. The strap, if you don't have a yoga strap, you can use a long resistance band. You can also use a rolled up towel that is long. You could also use a belt. You could use a really long ribbon. So you can be creative with the props. They don't have to be specifically these guys. So this whole class is going to focus on improving your posture, unrounding your shoulders. And if it's a lot at the start, then do child's pose, do a couple less reps, and grow with this workout. You could definitely do this class 2 to 3 times a week, just kind of as your counter to everyday life, because we're really going forward so much. We want to take the body back open in the chest. So guys, we are going to get started. We're going to use the block and the strap after a couple exercises, so just put them to a side and we'll get into it. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button below, and we are going to get started. So starting face down, like I said, that's pretty much the whole class. So we're laying on the belly, and we're gonna start propped up on our forearms. So I want you to take your elbows right underneath your shoulders, spread your palm, and push the floor away. So this is a very active stretch. It can be very passive if you sit like this in it, and you're not gonna get as much out of it. So even though some of these things might look really simple, try to really execute the instructions, and I promise you it's gonna feel like there's a lot more going on. Okay, so press into the hands, push into the forearms and the elbows, and that's gonna pull the chest up. Now, if you find too much pressure in your low back, anytime the hands on the floor can go further forward, that will bring you a little bit lower in the chest and might alleviate any symptoms in the low back. But otherwise, we're gonna bring an elbow underneath the shoulder, and let's talk about the lower back. So you're gonna move your tailbone to the wall behind you, and you're gonna pull your belly button to the wall in front of you. So we're making a scooped shape in this back, a rounded C curve. I'm getting rid of the lower back bend, and then I'm increasing the upper back bend. Good, so let's just take a couple breaths here. Grounding the forearms, scooping the pelvis, and making sure our abs are engaged. So this entire class, I want you to think of your core, which is a little shocking, right? Since we're doing back exercises. So suck your abs in and pull the rib cage together. So pull the ribs to the back of your shirt. As you push down into the forearms, lift the chest and spread the collarbone. Good, and then we're gonna slowly just release down. Take your right arm and make a little pillow for your head. Bend your left foot in, and grab the left foot with the left hand from the outside. Now again, find that tuck of the pelvis. When you tuck your pelvis in this position, it should put more weight in the pubic bone on the mat and should give you a little lift of your abs away from the floor. That's not to say they are not touching the floor. My stomach is certainly touching the floor. I just feel less pressure at that height of my torso. So now I feel the pressure a little bit lower. So pubic bone is pressuring down, abdomen is pulling up. Okay, release that, and let's switch. So use the left forearm to support the head, pull the right foot in from the outside of the foot, and then find the work of the pelvis and the core. So I know we're just warming up and stretching. These are good things to start activating so that when we get into the more difficult positions, we have the awareness of the lower belly and of the rib cage. Because that position's pretty much gonna stay with us throughout this class, since this whole class is prone. Okay, let's give that a release. Okay, we're gonna grab our props now. So you have your block or your pillow, and then you're gonna have your strap. Now you may have to do this looking at me for a second before you lay all the way down. So you're gonna put your head on the block or the pillow with your nose free so you can breathe. You're gonna take the strap behind your back. Hold the strap with your fingernails facing your butt. So your thumb is on the outside, the pinky fingers are towards each other. We're gonna draw the elbows towards each other. This is going to open the chest up. We have the tuck of the pelvis, and that pulls the abs up into our lower back. So you're gonna maintain that position of your core as you lift the arms up. We're reaching that strap back and then lifting it towards the ceiling. Good, and then you're gonna soften your elbows and we lower down. So I want you to unround your shoulders, pull them off the chest, pull the inside of the elbows together behind your back, find the work of the pelvis, and then reach the strap not only up, but also back. So that's gonna move your shoulders away from your neck. And then we lower down. So if the stretch is too much, you're gonna widen the distance between the hands. Roll the shoulders off the chest, find the lift of the belly, close the rib cage, and then reach the strap up and back. And then we lower down. So we're gonna take that 2 more times. When you reach the strap up and back, I want you to send the pinky finger down into the strap and try to turn your thumb back towards the ceiling, deepening the external rotation in the shoulder socket. And then we slowly take it back down. Okay, last one. Inhale, reaching up and back. Making sure the shoulders move with this action. So they draw together towards the spine, but they also move down towards your lower back. And then we slowly release it to the floor. So we're gonna do the same thing, but flipping the grip. So your palms now face up. So thumbs are towards each other, pinkies are on the outsides. I'm about shoulder distance apart with the strap. So first, from the shoulder socket, because that's really where we're going for the mobility, move the shoulders together onto the back. That is your number one thing. So it's not just an action in your arm like that, if you need a peek. If you just do this, this is really not gonna help your shoulder mobility. You have to move the shoulders together towards the back. There's gotta be movement. You should feel them squeeze the spine. So once they draw to the spine, and then we reach the strap back, we're looking for that depression so the shoulders move away from the ears. I'm gonna go a little bit wider so that I feel like I can really get that. So remember, if you can't get the form, back off the stretch a little bit. And then we take it down. So let's do it again. Initiate from your upper back. Move the back muscles together. As we reach the strap back, depress the back muscles. Pull them away from your neck. Move them down towards your back ribs. And then we release. Lifting the arms up. Keep tension in the strap. Pull it apart. Good. Reaching up and back. And we lower down. So let's take that 3 more times, adding a little bit of breath. We're going to inhale, lift, and lengthen, spreading the collarbone. And exhale, release to the floor, or our hips, I suppose. Last 2. Moving the chest into a more of an expanded state as we reach the strap back. And we lower down, softening the shoulders, and then recontracting that upper back and reaching the strap away from us. Getting that full expansion through heart center, and we take it down. Okay, lift up for 1 second. I feel like my forehead's gonna have a big red mark on it, but you know, we're all in this together. So now we're gonna do arm circles. We are gonna hold this strap a lot wider, and you'll see why. So very far apart with the hands, and your palms are gonna face down. So start really wide, shoulders down, find the lift of your belly, and we're gonna circle the arms all the way overhead, tap down, shoulders down, lift the arms up, and circle all the way back behind us. So if you had to do something funky, like one arm and then the next, and the elbows had to bend, you need to take the arms a lot wider. If you're only able to get to like overhead,
right here and reach to the ceiling, just do that range of motion to start. And every week when you come back to this video, try to increase it. Okay, but know the difference between, oh, that's an intense stretch, and it becoming too much. Okay, if you're able to do this, we're going for big arm circles. Okay, so we're gonna inhale, reach overhead, trying to not move the spine. So all of the mobility is coming from these shoulders. Okay, we're gonna go for 3 more. And now, if it gets too easy for you, the hands come a little closer on the strap. And that will certainly intensify the stretch. A little bit on this one goes a long way. Okay, last one. Big breath in, we go overhead. Woo! Shoulders down, deep breath out, we return. Okay, we're gonna put the strap aside for a second, and then we're gonna move the block out of the way for a second. So we'll give that a little rest. Okay, so we're gonna put our forearms down. So remember how I said with the Sphinx pose, if it's too intense with the low back here, move the arms further forward so less of your chest is elevated. Okay, we're tucking the hips under, and then we're gonna bend the right heel towards our tush. Check that the right knee is not pointing to the side, but it points straight down. Then take your right hand back and grab the outside of the foot with your thumb pointing down. Kick your right foot back and press the left forearm down to elevate the chest. So the setup we had in Sphinx for the forearms of this front arm is still happening. So everything we worked, push down and pull the chest forward. Now your right foot's kicking away from you, which is giving you the stretch in the right shoulder. Currently that right arm is in internal rotation because the palm is facing in. Okay, we're just gonna switch the rotation of the right arm. Turn your palm out, thumb up, and now grab the inside of the foot. Then kick the foot away from you and pull your chest forward. Okay, bend your right elbow a little bit as if it's to point to the floor, so we don't hyperextend that joint. Opening that right side up, and then gently release. Okay, you guys, so let's put the right forearm down and adjust how far forward it is according to how your back feels. Bend the left foot in and grab the outside of the left foot. Palm in, thumb down, and check that the left knee isn't pointing out. So top of the thigh straight down. Where's that core work at? So find it here. And then you're going to press your foot into your hand as you pull your chest forward. So I know in back extension, we don't often think about the abs. So that's really my focus of this class today, is actually what's going on in the core when we're doing our back work. Good. There's a balance between stretching out the core here and having control of it. Okay, you're gonna flip the palm. Palm out, thumb up. Now I want you to put a little bend to that left elbow and draw the left side of the chest straight forward. Kick the left foot back, draw the abdomen forward. Oh, such a good stretch. Okay, release. So we're gonna grab the block again. We don't need the strap anymore. So actually, let's put the strap kind of like out of the way so we don't hit it later. So grab the block or your pillow wherever you have. Knees point down, legs are hips distance. We're gonna go interlaced hands now. So forehead on the block. Hands are gonna wrap behind your back. Clasp your palms so the palms face in. Now just relax in this position. The first thing I want you to do when you come into this exercise is move the shoulder, the front of the shoulder, off the chest. So if you need to look at the screen, do that for a second. So I'm going to show you. I'm relaxed. I'm going to start by initiating. Spread the collarbone, move the shoulders off the chest. Right? Rather than just popping your elbows and straightening your arms. That's not going to give you shoulder mobility. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. So we tuck the hips. We're lifting the belly, and we're finding the rib cage. Then we're going to move the shoulders away from the chest, so expand your chest. Draw your inner elbows together behind your back, and then we're gonna lift the arms up without straightening the elbows fully. So see if you can keep a little bend in your elbows and point the elbows to the ceiling. And then release and soften. Okay? Spread your chest, move your back muscles together and down. Inner elbows towards each other, and then we lift. Keep the bend in the elbows. See if you can find the work in your core. So pull your belly button away from the ground and into your body. And then release down. Okay, one more with this interlacing of the fingers. Spread your chest, lift your arms, and move the fists to the heels. That should unshrug the shoulders, pulling them off the neck. And then release down. Okay, let's switch the fingers. So you're gonna take the other pinky finger interlaces on top. Okay, start from the top. So lengthening the low back to the heels and pulling the frontal hip bones to the chest. So it's like a reverse ab crunch. Spread your collarbone, pull your biceps towards each other behind your back, and lift. Reach the fists to the heels, make more space in your neck. And then release and soften. Inhale, and then gather the upper back muscles and reach them back. As you reach your fists back, think of the top of your head reaching for the front of the room. And gently release down. Okay, last one. Big breath in. See what's going on in the core. Is it still contracting? And deep breath out and release. Okay, so now we're gonna go into a lat pull down, and I'm still gonna keep this head support. So take your arms into a goalpost position. So in this position, I want your elbows to not be lifted up like this. I'd rather your elbow be closer to your floor and your fingers be off the floor. So this is gonna be turning the shoulder in, and that's not what we want with the fingers down. So elbow closer to the floor, fingers up. Now tuck the pelvis, find the belly and the ribs. We're gonna have the arms at the hover. As you inhale, you're gonna reach the arms overhead. Shoulders are not elevating, and then we're gonna bend the elbows back to 90. Let's do that again. As you reach overhead, contract your ribs into the body, and then bend the elbows to 90. It's a two-way stretch in the arm. The upper arm moves into the back, the fingertips reach overhead. I want full extension of your arms, so you have to straighten your elbow fully overhead. That's how we're gonna get the stretch here. Let's do two more. Inhale, full extension, straighten, straighten, straighten. Exhale, return. Last one. Inhale to reach. Where's that core at? Exhale, return, and release the arms. I mean, surprisingly, really challenging. So we got about two more things here, guys. So we're gonna come into that goalpost position. Shoulders are down, belly up, ribs up. Now I want you to pulse the back of the hand to the ceiling and the elbow to the floor, okay? As you do that, it's like you're trying to backhand the ceiling. I want you to move your shoulder blades down the back. So not just together, but down away from your neck. So they're moving towards your sacrum, okay? So the collarbone's open. The ribs are lifting. See if you can get that connection. It's gonna give you a lot more work in your mid-back. Let's go for 10, 9, 8, really get those shoulders down. 7, press the pubic bone into the ground. 6, 5, woo, I feel that. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Okay, so last thing before we stretch are shoulder circles. So you know how you do like shoulder rolls when we do like a hip hop class or something, or to warm up before weights? You're gonna be doing that with the arms in the goalpost position, okay? So if you don't get that description, then watch me and then you'll get into it. So arms are in the goalpost, and make sure the fingers are not closer to the floor. So press the back of the hand to the ceiling. Scoop the belly, and we're gonna start to lift the shoulders, pull them to the ceiling, pull them down the back, and lower them to the floor. So we go up, back, down, forward, up, back, down, forward, and then kind of smooth that out. So the idea I'm explaining it like that is I want to make sure there's movement in your shoulder blades and that it's not the arms that are making this like really big flailing motion. It is your back. So like I've said with the other exercises, if we're not moving the back, we're not going to be getting that strength and shoulder mobility there. Okay, let's reverse it. So now we go up to the ears, down to the floor, down the back, up to the ceiling. Up, forward, back, and down. And then just kind of smooth that out. So our scapulas are gliding around on our upper back. So that's how we're gonna get the mobility here. Keep tilting that inner elbow to the floor. Let's do 5 more. It's burning in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whoa. Release. All of a sudden, my arms felt like I was holding 10 pounds.
Okay, so it's certainly time for a child's pose. So stretch it back, hips to heels, and take a couple deep breaths in and out. If the arms are really tired, you can bring them back and grab the back of your feet, or you can reach them overhead and get a big stretch through the arms. Take a really big breath in and think of breathing into your back. So as you breathe in, push your back and your back ribs into your shirt. And as you breathe out, relax. Let's do 2 more. Big breath in, fill up your back body. And deep breath out. Okay, 1 more. Fully expand the back of your body into your shirt. And then release the breath. Okay, wave it forward, coming to all 4s, hands and knees. We're gonna round the spine out. So toes untucked, hands underneath the shoulders, and your elbows are gonna turn toward your thighs. Now kick the floor away, really actively, like so much that your knees would float with your feet. Push the floor away with your hands and tuck the pelvis. So there's a lot of pressure. This is a very active movement we're going for. We're sending the tailbone to the heels and getting that stretch in the back. Good, then drop the chest and arch the spine. Big breath in. Again, kick the floor away with the feet so much the knees could almost hover. Yeah, test that out. Round the spine. And then inhale, let's arch and open. Oh, that feels good. Okay, 1 more. Breathe out and round. And breathe in and arch. Good, and then just release and take a seat. I'm so curious if I have a big red mark on my head, but you know what? It's all good. I hope you guys had a great class. This is a good one that can be fit in, midday, in the afternoon, at the end of a workout, because it's not too long. And these moves are super important for your back health. I promise you, if you keep up with that in life, your spine is gonna feel so much better. I'm very fortunate to say that I don't really get too much back pain, and when I do, I come to these exercises or I realize I haven't been doing them enough. So if you keep up with this, the quality of your life will improve, and that is really, we're looking for longevity here, right? So guys, my name's Lindsay Bushman. I hope you enjoyed your Prone Pilates class where we really attacked that back strength, that shoulder mobility, and let me know what you thought of it in the comments. I can't wait to see you guys on the next one, so don't forget to hit subscribe. Bye guys.